I remember the first time I was in a new to UU class, some 40 years ago. The minister leading it asked the question, why would a person want to join a church? I thought it was a strange question, like, why would you drink water when you're thirsty? Because I had grown up in churches and all my family going back generations had been members of churches. And even when I questioned what beliefs I had and explored other faiths or no faith, I'd always sought out and joined communities or sanghas to be connected with. It had never occurred to me not to join. But the question that minister posed, and then listening to all the different answers people had to offer, helped me to go deeper into myself and to realize choosing to be a member of a community is not always the obvious choice. And the reasons you would make it are many. Years later in seminary, I heard this. People come to church for ultimacy and intimacy, according to the great 20th century theologian James Luther Adams. Ultimacy and intimacy are basic psychological and spiritual needs for any person. You know, people come to churches to wrestle with life's ultimate questions. Who am I? What do I believe in or trust? What community is mine? But they also come for a sense of intimacy, for a safe place in which they can be accepted while making connections with others. A faith community at its best does offer intimacy, that sense of knowing and being known, knowing that you're not isolated and your life matters. And a faith community at its best offers you a connection to ultimacy, the sense of wonder of the universe, the great cycle of planets and atoms, forces swirling, the wonder of birth and life and death. You know, intimacy alone is possible. You don't need a faith community to fall in love or to have friends. And ultimacy alone is also possible. You can sense the wonder of the universe through your own meditation or just staring at the starry skies. But being able to have the chance to find these two together in one community, intimacy and ultimacy, that is powerful. That is meaningful. Now, when people come to a faith community like UUCVille, they do come for many reasons: moral teaching for children, working for justice and social change, meeting people to have fun with, finding support through hard times like illness, divorce, retirement, death. All of these are good reasons to seek out a faith community for the ministry that it has to offer. Yes. But then coming to a faith community is not the same thing as becoming a member of a congregation. So why would you join? Your bylaws say that a member can be any person who supports the purposes of the church and recognizes and understands the need of the church for support through financial contributions and active participation. Another way of saying this, I think, is that a member is someone who not only enjoys the ministry that's being offered to them, but a member is someone who wants to take part in being a part of that ministry and finding ways to support it and provide it. A great Unitarian minister, John Wolfe, once said, there is only one reason for joining a UU church, and that is to support it, to support what it stands for and who it welcomes and how it teaches love and connects people rather than divides them, to support it because it cares about human beings more than dogmas, and it helps us all in our search for meaning. But you know, I read that John Wolfe quote to somebody in a group I was meeting with this year, and this one person said, "I'm not sure I agree. The only reason to join a church is to support it." That person felt people join not only support a church, but for what they receive. They want to feel like they belong, and they want to feel like they can be a part of the ministry. And my thought in response to that is, yes, those are the reasons people come to a faith community. And there are reasons why people hang around. They stay involved and they enjoy what it offers. But you know, our ministry is free and open to all. whether or not people coming are members, whether or not even if they agree to the UU covenant, people can come here and get a lot from our congregation without supporting it. So what does it mean to say you become a member to support it? For me, I started attending a UU church because my family and I needed connections. But then I realized that I shifted inside of me, feeling like I wanted to be a member of that congregation when they invited me to be a part of sharing in the ministry, teaching children, singing in the choir, pledging money, and making a promise to abide by the covenant. The covenant being that we support each other on the journey, we work for justice, we honor the interdependency, the web of life. Now, we know that there are times in our lives when we cannot give money, we cannot find time to teach, we don't have the patience for meetings. There are times when we just need others to love us or make us meals. Can we be members in those times too? And this is what's so important. Yes, you can still be a member committed to the ministry, even in the times when you have nothing to give. You can be a member in all of the seasons of life. If you remember that membership means you're being in relationship. It's a relationship, not a transaction. A member is someone who has made the commitment to be a part of the community and stays in relationship, whether they need to receive or whether they want to give. You stay in relationship in good times and bad, in joy and sorrow. You move together on this long and bumpy journey of our lives. That commitment to being in relationship is also supporting the congregation. A congregation is a network of relationships. It's not a transaction. It's not a club you pay dues to. It's not a business arrangement. We'll provide these services if you give us this much money. A congregation is an invitation to you to grow and to become fully human and to find agency in your lives, to be the actors, writers, and producers on the stage of your own story, not just an observer paying for a ticket to watch what is happening to you. A. Paul Davies was another great Unitarian minister, and he said once that being in religious community offers people the chance to grow a soul. In my mind, that phrase carries so much meaning. Growing a soul means helping people move from being consumers to being producers, engaging with others, sharing their lives, and offering ministry as a creative part of the world. And just as a parent hopes their child can grow to become self-aware, a productive part of the larger world, a congregation has its mission, the hope that each of us can find our worth, our dignity, and our power to bring heaven to this time and place that we live in. We each have a part in this, helping all of us to find our worth, our dignity, our power to bring heaven on this earth. On this first day of Passover, a celebration which began at sunset last night, the story is remembered and told of the festivals of passages, the Hebrew people being spared from the angel of death, then crossing the Sea of Reeds to escape Pharaoh, finding freedom and surviving in the desert because of the miracle of being fed manna from heaven. What a powerful series of stories for the time we are in right now. We struggle to survive the plague and death from COVID. We sense that we'll be able to make it through the sea and arrive into a land which is only the next stage in our journey home. And it's not as close as we hope. We will be free in some ways, but we'll need miracles in other ways. Can we proclaim and claim the freedom that is the true hope of escaping Pharaoh? The freedom from feeling lost and powerless and subject to forces that we don't understand? I believe this is not only possible, I believe it is the mission of religious community to help each other, to commit to making the journey and supporting it through thick and thin, finding the sense of intimacy on this journey to ultimacy. I want to thank all the members of the UU congregation of Charlottesville, those who are gone now, whose lives led to this moment, those of you who have kept the faith with the commitment to move through this life together in good times and bad. And I want to thank all of you who have become recent members, who've affirmed that it is the mission and a community worth your commitment. Your lives and your presence add so much to everyone. And I even want to thank those of you who are here but are unsure, those of you who are seekers and people in need of patience, support, inspiration, answers. Thank you for being here too, even if you can't commit to membership yet, because you remind us that we're a part of a large community and you give our commitments meaning. All of us are sibling travels on a journey. We can all be the light in our own way, and together it's amazing what we can be. We offer and receive the sense of ultimacy and intimacy, and we help each other be that powerful light to shine in the world. May it be so.